3.5 points kind of gets me feeling some type of way. You know, my gut says the Eagles are going to dominate this game, but my gut also says Baker Mayfield does not get blown off the field. So, Grant, how do you see this one playing out?
I'm sorry. Did you say NFC West powers are coming to meet? What was that?
NFC powers. I didn't say NFC West powers.
I thought you said NFC West. I think you might still be caught up on Thursday night.
Maybe. I don't think I said NFC West. I thought I just said NFC powers.
We'll review the tape. Get the automated replay. We'll get a ruling on that. Comment section. Let us know. What's the official play? Is that a flag on the play or not? So my opinions before we get into props and picks and stuff like that. My general outlook on this game. I'm worried about the Bakers. I'm worried about the Buccaneers offensive lines, potentially missing 3 starting offensive linemen against a defense with this level of talent. Forget how they're playing, because they're actually not playing very well right now. The Eagles, I want to say, are like in the bottom 10 in the NFL for pressure generated, which for that defensive line is horrible because knowing the talent they have. But still, that level of talent against 3 backup offensive linemen, that does spell trouble. Also, the Eagles do a great job of keeping things in front of them. There's talks that Chris Godwin could be back for this game. We don't know at the time that we are recording it. But Mike Evans, he's doubtful. It's almost inevitable that he will be ruled out. So maybe Godwin comes in, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Godwin and Evans are out, and now it's just Egbuka going against a secondary that, like I said, does a very good job of keeping everything in front of them. Quinyon Mitchell did a terrific job on Devontae Adams last week. Now it's going to be an exciting matchup between 2 up-and-coming stars at their respective positions. But still, I think the Bucs are going to be forced to have this more patient style of offense that the Eagles did to a lot of teams last year. They frustrate teams by making them take the 4 or 5 yard pass. Baker's an aggressive guy. He wants to throw the ball down the field, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. On the flip side, the Eagles offense has been pretty horrible this entire year. For, we've played 3 games so far. So for 10 and a half quarters, Jalen Hurts has just been pathetic. But then all of a sudden, I almost feel like either Sirianni took over the play calling duties or Jalen was calling the plays, because the passing game looked totally different in that second half against the Rams. If they carry that into this game, then there's no reason why they can't come out and score 27, 30 points in this game. But if they're going to revert to what they were in the first 2.5 games, then we're looking at this as like a first team to 14 wins this game. That's my thoughts on just the overall game.
Yeah, well, they had to throw the ball in the second half too. And that's why I said on the podcast last week, the Eagles have the capability to throw the football. I mean, you trash Jalen Hurts all the time. You love trashing Jalen Hurts, but he can throw the football down the field. He has A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith. They just choose not to do it. Just because he has Saquon Barkley, he's punished because, he has a great running back where he doesn't need to throw the ball all the time. Last week he did. I think this week they're going to kind of revert back to where they were, because I don't think they're going to be in a situation where they have to necessarily air the ball out down the field. I think the Buccaneers on the flip side are going to be in a situation where they have to throw to keep pace in this game. Saquon Barkley, though, has not been great. They haven't been able to establish the run game really with him. Teams are keying on him. So I think as we move through the season, we're going to see Jalen Hurts' numbers start to go up, because they're going to have to from a throwing perspective and a running perspective. And again, A.J. Brown, he's so hard to stop. I think this is going to be another week where he goes off. And this was the same trajectory that they had last season. Start the season slow from a passing perspective. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts complain, they're not friends anymore. We get that whole news cycle going through, and then A.J. Brown pops off and has the kind of game he had last week. So the Eagles team is just, we're back in that cycle. They're going to figure it out on both sides of the ball. This could be the week they do it. But I also, if the Bucs win this game, wouldn't surprise me one bit. I'm kind of in that boat.
Yeah, I'm with you too, that I do think it will be competitive. I think it could be a little back and forth. I think the Bucs could go up 7-0, and then it's 17-7 Philadelphia, and then we're tied at 17. I think it could be a game sort of like that. Ultimately, I would say if I am to give a spread pick here, probably not going to be betting this, because I do think it is very close. I would probably be taking the Eagles at -3.5, but really it's the 3.5 that's really throwing me off here. If we can get this to -3, I would feel better about it. I do just think that health plays a part in it. And as much as I do like to, maybe trash is the correct word, I would say fairly point out the flaws of the Eagles, because everything I've said about Jalen refusing to throw the ball down the field, the offensive scheme issues, everything has been accurate, yet they always find ways to overcome it. They have championship pedigree. You saw that last weekend more than anything, more than you'll ever see it. And with the Bucs, they're undefeated. All of their wins have been at the very last second. And I don't know if the Eagles will give them the opportunity to do it in this game. So, yeah.
I'll go with the Buccaneers plus 3.5. I think Baker's a dog. I don't love the play. I don't love it by any means, but I think defensively the Bucs fly around. They're going to be good enough to keep Tampa Bay in the game from an offensive perspective. And the Buccaneers offensive line has been an issue, but at the same time too, you look at what Baker's been able to do in the pocket with his feet, extending plays. They got a championship DNA too down in Tampa Bay. It's a big game. The Bucs do own the Eagles. That's one thing that we're forgetting here. Tampa Bay, Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield own the Philadelphia.
They retired Jason Kelce.
That they're the one team that really does own the Eagles. Like they smack them around every time they play. Playoffs, regular season, it doesn't matter. Like last year, a lot of people expected the Eagles to go on the road and beat Tampa last year. Absolutely got smacked by the Bucs at home. So I think this is a spot where it wouldn't be any surprise if the Bucs win. I think this is probably the Eagles' game to win, but I'll take the 3.5 points with Tampa Bay.
All right, let me get into some player props here because I got some good ones. I really like these. Saquon Barkley under 77.5 rushing yards. You said he has not been good this season. That is a lie. He has actually been atrocious. And I don't take shots at Saquon personally. I'm not taking away anything he's done before this point in his career. He has been awful this season. He's averaging 3.3 yards per carry. That is horrible. This is crazy. Do you know who has, among qualified running backs, do you know who has the worst attempts per broken tackle mark? Saquon Barkley.
Wait. Can I say something?
Huh.
Yeah, you disrespect him a little bit too much there. He was great in the Cowboys game. Like the numbers weren't great, but his ability to extend plays on third down were unbelievable. Whether it was a 3-yard carry or a 2-yard carry, he was dead in the backfield half time and found a way to get through. He was great in that game.
He's last in the whole NFL in attempts per broken tackle. He is the least elusive running back in the entire NFL.
I think that's because how they use him. I don't think that's his fault.
Well, regardless of how it is, he has to get to 77.5 rushing yards. I don't think he's doing it. Tampa Bay, based on EPA per play, far and away the best run defense in the NFL. They allowed the 5th fewest yards per carry at just 3.6. I don't think this is going anywhere. And even if Saquon was playing great, you know what teams are going to be saying? We got to stack the box. Jalen Hurts doesn't want to throw the football. You stop Saquon. You stop the Eagles. That's how you beat them. And the difference is Tampa has the defensive line to handle the Saquon piece of it. But if they're going to go man coverage, when Jalen starts to run, they have the speed with the linebackers in the middle of the field that they can get to Jalen, and then they have the sure-handedness to actually tackle him. Like you were talking about the Cowboys game. The Cowboys did a really good job defending the Eagles, but it was the Jalen Hurts scrambles that killed them. The Bucs can stop that. So those things go hand in hand. And I'm going to let you get to your picks in a second. I'm actually going to roll that over because it fits perfectly to Jalen Hurts over 188.5 passing yards. Coming off of what he did last weekend, considering how dominant the Bucs run defense is, how slow of a day I expect Saquon to have. They've got to move the ball somehow, and I think that means Jalen Hurts goes over on the passing.
I love both those picks. I think Jalen Hurts has a better chance to go over than Saquon has to go under, if that makes sense. I do think Saquon's going to go under, but if I had to pick one, I'm taking Jalen over the passing yards there, and I think A.J. Brown's going to have another big game. I'm going to be on the other side of it when it comes to props here. First off, I love Baker Mayfield to throw an interception this game, and I hate to bring those bad vibes, that bad juju to my quarterback, Baker Mayfield, but he has no interceptions this year. There's been so many passes. I don't know if you've watched the Buccaneers much, but there have been so many passes that should have been picked off.
The Falcons game, he should have had 2 or 3.
Like he throws it just like a hair behind his receiver a lot of the time. Like not too far, but like if the ball's got to be on my chest, it's like back here. And there's been multiple times where defenders just have said, hey, I don't need to pick this one off right now. He probably should have 3 interceptions on the season at least. So I think Baker Mayfield over a half an interception is great, especially with the offensive line situation for the Bucs. He's going to have pressure. He's going to be on the move. He's also going to have to be forcing balls down the field just because of the situation he's in, I think, in this game against the Eagles. So I'll take him over a half an interception. The numbers don't do it justice there. The 0 interceptions. I'll also take him over his rushing yards in this game at 17.5. He averages 38.7. And I think the reason this total is a little lower than the average, I would think it'd be more in the 20s, is just because the way the Eagles play defense, they're going to rush for it. They're going to have a shell. It's going to be hard to get through. But Baker's going to be scrambling in this game, whether it's because of pressure, whether he's just trying to make plays down the field. He has been so clutch ripping off these big gains this season. That's the two ways he's really played is, ripping off big games, extending plays with his legs, just because he really hasn't thrown for that many yards. And he's also been very close to throwing interceptions. So I think both those things will be true once again on Sunday. And if you want to parlay him, go for it. It's probably a pretty good play.
So I'm going to take that. I like that Baker play a lot. And it actually fits very well with another one of my plays. And it speaks to the style of defense that the Eagles play. I'm trying to get their blitz percentage. So give me just 1 second here, because I would expect them to be very low. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, but the Eagles, they just don't. Oh wait, okay, I think I got it here. Sorry, technical difficulties. Where are the Eagles? I lied. I can't find it. Okay, bottom line is the Eagles like to keep everybody in front of them. That's the way they play. They don't stack the box. They're gonna play quarters. They're gonna drop people back, rush with 4, like you said. So they might allow you to complete the ball, but it's gonna be short. It's gonna be intermediate, and then you got to work up off of that. So for that reason, Bucky Irving over 3.5 receptions for plus money for plus 118. So he's gone over in every game this season. He's had at least 4 receptions in every game. And again, if that's the style the Eagles are going to play, plus the Bucs having that banged up offensive line, oh my goodness, Jalen Carter has just ripped right through the center. I got to get rid of this ball. Let me check it down to Bucky Irving right there. That could easily happen a couple of times in that game. So we're already at 2 based off of the Eagles taking advantage of the Bucs' injured offensive line. And then you've got maybe one play designed for Bucky, and you've got 1 screen. And there's your 4 receptions right there for plus money.
My one fear with Bucky just in general is how they use him. Like, they beat him up. They don't work in Rachaad White enough. Bucky is taking such a beating out there, whether it's in the run game, the pass game. Like, they use him so much. I do like the play, but that's a fear for me moving forward as a Bucs supporter there. I don't want Bucky to be gone too early.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's one of those situations where, like, he's so good. He really is, that you want him on the field, but you got to protect him as well.